Okay, so Mr. Lucario, we were talking about some advice for women in dating.
Yeah.
And how it can be helpful for women to be more assertive.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
So we're talking about some women we know who are in relationships or in situations not because they actively chose to be there, but because it happened to them.
Right.
And it's, I think, almost like a female quality to sort of to be agreeable, to let things happen to you, rather than going out and making things happen the way you want them to. And I think that the problem is that women often then find themselves in relationships and in like their dating lives just feeling a little unfulfilled. Right? Because they're not really getting what they want, because they're not, number one, they're not articulating, this is what I actually want, and they're not pushing for that to happen. They're allowing themselves to stay in situations that aren't really ideal, maybe even on the abusive side. And I'm wondering, what is your advice for women like this?
Well, I mean, pretty much, basically, it's kind of like, you know, my book, It's Your Fault You're Single. That's basically what I'm talking about. Like,
so talk more about this.
So basically, what I'm saying is that, you know, a woman has the power to actually have the type of relationship she wants. But what happens is that in society, women, you know, society has taught women that in order to, you know, get what you want, you have to be like extremely passive. Now, being passive has its moments in certain situations. You understand what I'm saying?
I've heard certain people say that women should be submissive.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Ain't no wrong with a woman being submissive, but being submissive and, you know, and then also basically letting things just like happen to you are two totally different things. You understand what I'm saying? See, and let me state that point real quick. So being submissive is more so about you having a submissive nature. You understand? But
a role in a good relationship.
Right, exactly. So it's
so to find, sorry, I'm cutting you off, but you're saying find that good relationship. Be assertive about finding that,
and then
then playing your gender role, or, you know, your role in.
Yeah, just as far as like being, you know, you can be like, you're going to be submissive regardless, but you submissive with a jerk or a guy who's going to be on some BS, or you're not really feeling this guy and it's, you know, you're not happy with this guy, or you're submissive with a guy that you love and that he loves you and he's, you know, there for you, and he respects you and all the other stuff, right? So, and, you know, I hate to even talk about submission because, like, some women are still not even ready to, you know, deal with that. So let's move on from that. But what we're saying here is this, is that women need to be able to basically figure out if they're happy in their situation. If they're not, right, have to be brave enough to be able to go, you know, think outside the box or even get out their comfort zone to go and find other men who are better suited for them. You understand what I'm saying? But what happens is that, again, with that women being so passive, it's sort of like a lot of women are conditioned to feel, or they're taught to behave in a certain way where they'll say, well, I'm just taking what I can get. He's already here. He's giving me attention. So, you know, I've been with him already for years.
Let me leave.
Right. You know, all that other craziness.
He'll throw a big fit if I try to leave.
Exactly.
And so then they'll stay. But I feel like I've seen this in, you know, women who are close to me, that I want them to be more assertive. And their girlfriends keep saying to them, this isn't a good relationship. You're not happy. You complain about your relationship every time I see you. Right? That's not a good relationship. That's not a quality relationship. Why aren't you moving forward? Why aren't you...
Well, it's because of fear also. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Women are scared because they're like, okay, well, you know, I'm so used to being with this guy. What is it going to mean for me to not be with him? I don't want to be alone. How do I know I'm going to find someone better? Do I even deserve better? All these different things.
Right. And the message is you do deserve better.
Right.
And you can. And maybe reading It's Your Fault You're Single will help.
Right. But the thing is this, again, it's about women being more bold, being more out there as far as them taking control over their lives and their love lives. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
and not just your love life, but your life in general, and it spills over.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Because the thing is that, see, what I don't want to get confused is that you have women out here who will sort of have this pseudo like, oh, I'm an independent woman. I don't have to listen to anybody. I'm super strong and all that. And the thing is, you should be strong within yourself, period, as, a person. You understand? But what we're talking about here is that you using that strength as, as who you are to get what you want, instead of sort of just feeling like, well, I got to be this passive woman who, I have no control over anything. I just have to go by the whim of how things are presented to me. And I just have to accept the things as they are. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is that you only know, if you're the one who knows if your relationship sucks or not. You know if you're happy or not. So then you just got to ask yourself and be honest, am I happy with what I'm doing? Am I happy with the person I'm with? If I'm not, why am I still here? What fears are coming up that are making it harder for me to get in a better situation. You understand what I'm saying?
And so to address those fears.
Right.
And figure out what are the steps that I would need to take to move forward and find something that's better for me and for my life.
Exactly.
And I guess it's also good to hear from you, a dating coach, you can do that if you're a woman. Like, it's allowed. It doesn't make you unfeminine.
Right.
To take control of your dating life.
Right.
And
because this is the thing. Let me say this. You got to understand that even though because women have been taught, okay, well, I have to, I would never approach a guy. I would never, do this, and the guy it's the man's job to do yada yada yada. Which, to a certain extent, I agree with. What I'm saying though is that anytime you choose a man. Right? Because you still, it's not 100% passive. Like, it's not like you're just standing there, a guy comes into a room and he says, you're going to be my woman, and you have nothing to say about it. You understand what I'm saying? So, any guy that you are with is because you chose to be with him. Right. You understand? So, how about we make the choosing process, you understand what I'm saying, be something that you take a little bit more seriously. You understand?
Right, or that you that belongs to you.
Right, exactly. Right. And
it's
also
your choice.
Right, and also the choice to say, well, I choose not to be with you anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying? Instead of feeling like, you're victim to this person where you have no power to do anything else, because the thing is, at the end of the day, you're going to be living with yourself, meaning you have to live with your decisions. So you're going to be interacting with this man you chose. So the thing is that if you're not happy with this guy you chose and it's not really working out, you need to keep it moving on to something else and then make a better choice for the next time. You understand? Or if you're a woman who's single, be aware that, okay, well, when I do decide to be with this guy or that guy, then I'm choosing the best choice for me, and that's going to make me happy. The problem is you have so many women out here who are single, who they want nothing more than just to be with somebody. Because I've been in situations where I talk to women, they're like, I just want to get married. 30s, I just got to get married like tomorrow. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. You understand? And then you fall into that thing, and then now you're in that relationship that's, killing you right now. You're just like, I can't deal. You understand? And you end up getting married to this guy you don't really like, having kids with this guy you don't really like, being miserable with this guy you don't really like.
Right, and then having a life you don't really like.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing that I think a lot of women need to really take heed to and understand that, you have the power to choose who you are going to be with, who, you have the power to, get away from those situations that you don't want.
And you have the power to have relationships that you feel good about.
Right. Exactly. You see what I mean? It's really that simple.